How do Agile teams take a big idea like improve customer self-service and turn it into small pieces of work that can actually be built during a sprint? That's where epics, features, and user stories come in. These three terms are closely related, but they represent different levels of planning. In this video, we'll walk through how they fit together, why Agile teams break work into smaller pieces, and how an idea evolves from a broad business goal into individual user stories ready for development. Imagine a company wants to improve its online shopping experience. Someone might suggest, let's improve customer self-service. That's a great goal, but it's far too large to hand directly to a development team. Large ideas like this are difficult to estimate, plan, and complete in a single sprint. Instead, Agile teams gradually break large ideas into smaller pieces. This makes the work easier to understand, estimate, prioritize, develop, test, and deliver. It also allows the team to deliver value sooner, gather feedback earlier, and reduce project risk. This breakdown typically follows a simple hierarchy: epic to feature to user story. A simple way to remember it is epic equals big outcome. Feature equals product capability. User story equals specific user need. An epic is a large body of work or a major business outcome the organization wants to achieve. It describes the destination rather than the individual steps needed to get there. Think of an epic as answering the question, what larger outcome are we trying to achieve? Suppose our company wants customers to solve more problems without contacting customer support. The epic might simply be improve customer self-service. Notice how broad that statement is. It doesn't tell us exactly what we're building. Instead, it describes the overall outcome the organization wants to achieve. At this stage, that's perfectly fine. The goal of an epic is to provide direction. Because epics are intentionally broad, they are usually too large to complete within a single sprint. Before development begins, they need to be broken into smaller pieces. The next level down is a feature. A feature is a specific product capability that helps achieve the larger epic. If the epic answers, what outcome are we trying to achieve? Then the feature answers, what capability will help us achieve that outcome? Let's continue with our example. Our epic is improve customer self-service. There are many capabilities that could support that goal. For example, online order tracking, password reset, account profile management, support ticket submission, knowledge-based search. Each of these is a feature. Notice that none of them fully accomplish the epic by themselves. Instead, each feature contributes to the larger business outcome. For example, online order tracking helps customers answer one of the most common questions: where is my order? Without contacting customer support. Another feature, password reset, allows customers to recover access to their accounts without calling a help desk. Each feature delivers value on its own while also supporting the broader epic. Now let's zoom in one level further. Each feature can be broken down into several user stories. A user story describes one specific user need from the user's perspective. It is usually written using the familiar format. As a user, I want capability, so that benefit. Let's continue using our online order tracking feature. One user story might be, as a customer, I want to view the current status of my order so that I know whether it has shipped. Another story could be, as a customer, I want to see the estimated delivery date so that I know when to expect my package. Notice what's happening. We're no longer talking about broad business goals. We're talking about specific pieces of functionality that can be discussed, estimated, built, tested, and delivered within a sprint. This is why user stories become the primary work items most Agile development teams plan and implement during each iteration. Once a user story has been written, the next step is defining its acceptance criteria. If the user story explains what the user needs, the acceptance criteria explain how the team will know the need has been met. Let's continue with our user story. As a customer, I want to view the current status of my order so that I know whether it has shipped. Possible acceptance criteria might include, the customer can view the order status from the order details page. The status displays clear labels such as processing, shipped, or delivered. Notice that the acceptance criteria don't change the story. Instead, they clarify exactly what must be true before the story can be accepted. They also make the story testable, helping developers, testers, and the product owner share the same understanding of what done means for that specific story. People often confused between epics and features. Both epics and features are larger than a single user story, and different organizations may use the terms slightly differently. A practical way to think about it is this. An epic describes the larger outcome the organization wants to achieve. A feature describes one product capability that supports that outcome. Going back to our example, improve customer self-service is the epic because it describes the broader goal. To support that goal, the product team may identify features such as online order tracking, password reset, and knowledge-based search. Each of those features supports the same epic, but each one solves a different customer problem. Then, when the team is ready to plan the work, each feature can be broken down into smaller user stories. For example, the online order tracking feature may include stories for viewing the order status and seeing the estimated delivery date. So the flow is simple. Start with the big outcome. Identify the capabilities needed to support that outcome. Then break those capabilities into specific user needs the team can build, test, and deliver. This is how Agile teams move from a broad idea to sprint-ready work. Now let's connect everything to the product backlog. One common misconception is that every user story must be fully detailed at the beginning of a project. That's usually not how Agile teams work. Instead, the backlog evolves over time. Items that are far down the backlog often remain as large epics because the team isn't ready to work on them yet. As an epic moves closer to implementation, it is refined into features. Then those features are broken into user stories. Finally, as sprint planning approaches, the team adds acceptance criteria, clarifies assumptions, discusses dependencies, and estimates the stories. This process is often called backlog refinement. This allows the team to spend time refining only the work they'll need in the near future, instead of trying to define every requirement months in advance. To recap, here's a simple way to remember what we've covered. Epic equals big outcome. Feature equals product capability. User story equals specific user need. Think of it as a hierarchy. The epic defines where the product is going. The features describe the major capabilities needed to get there. The user stories describe the individual pieces of value the team delivers to users, one sprint at a time. When Agile teams break work down this way, they can focus on delivering value incrementally, gathering feedback earlier, and adapting as they learn more. If you found this video helpful, please like this video and subscribe to PM Aspirant. And for more project management resources, visit pmaspirant.com. When you're ready, I'll see you in the next video.